this is really some really geeky but exciting topics coming up here. And this is a topic called cycles. And this is imbued in everything in life, okay? Studying economics, doing analytics and data every day, we see cycles all the time. However, that being said, it's amazing how businesses don't look at time series, meaning long stretches of data over time. And it's critical to understand your business, to understand the economy, your industry. That being said, cycles are also within everything we do, within our psychologies, within our families, within our lives, everything. So this is a fascinating topic for me. And because of this, we created a model, a 9-phase cycle that can cut any topic, any industry, any product, whatever, into 9 phases of a complete cycle. The first thing you do when you see a cycle, or you observe a cycle, or you're looking at data with a cycle, is to figure out the stabilized equilibrium, kind of analogous to the TPSI, okay? And then you want to understand peaks and troughs. And you want to be able to identify these different 9 phases. Peaks, where contraction begins, where your cycle starts to pass down below the stabilized equilibrium point, where it starts to continue to go down but yet starts to decelerate, and then hits trough, and then conversely back up the other side. Why is this important? Again, just to emphasize what I just mentioned, cycles are everywhere. It's in every economic driver you look at, every demographic, every psychometric. If you don't understand the cycles, you're not going to really understand what you're looking at. And once you do, there are 4 things you want to know. These are one of these points during a presentation that will say, if you're going to leave here and you want one good nugget to take back, this might be it. Okay, so when you look at data, or you're making a decision, or you're assessing some strategy or tactic in your company, okay, you want to know where you've been, where you are now, where you're going, and where you want to be. Those are the 4 key points you want to always have a pulse on. Because if you don't have any of those, one of those 4, you're kind of lost. Back to baseball, okay? How does cycles and the economy and motorcycle sales infuse with cycles in baseball? Well, let's take a look. Because I love baseball, and I think it's a great metaphor for business. We're looking at Albert Pujols, 2010, one of his best seasons, one of his most consistent seasons. Here you see on the y-axis batting average. A couple of benchmarks. That's the all-time season average, 261. That's the all-time single-season record. And there is Albert Pujols' cumulative batting average. Okay? Game after game, it gets recalculated. Ended the season at 312. But what if we looked at his 10-game moving average? Now, what does that look like? That looks like the economy. That looks like your sales. Looks like a lot of different things. Again, everything moves in cycles. You give me data, and I guarantee we'll get it back to you in some cyclical form. Now, again, just to really emphasize the point, this is one of the greatest hitters in baseball, and look at the slump. He had a slump hitting 147 for a time. And of course, there was also some equal. Yeah. I know. I'm a Met fan, so I can't really criticize on anybody. I think we're still paying off the investment scam that they went through with Bernie Madoff. Did you know that? The Mets invested heavily with Bernie Madoff. Figures that's my team. Okay, so let's take a look at Babe Ruth. This is arguably one of the greatest seasons of any hitter in the history of baseball, 1921. And he went through 3 cycles. Look at the slumps he had here. That's terrible. So again, no matter how well you're doing, or for that matter, how poorly you're doing, or how stabilized you're doing, there's always a cycle. There's always a sub-cycle. And if you don't understand that, it's kind of foolhardy in this day and age of big data and analytics. Look back to that quadrant model that we showed you of the economy traversing a direction and a cycle. That's exactly what this is trying to tell you. That you not only have to know if it's strong or weak, you need to know direction and momentum and cycles. So I wanted to really drive that point home.